I'm Rick, and this is Burn After Reading. On December 18th, 2015, Netflix docuseries Making a Murderer took the world by storm. As summarized, it was a film over a 10-year period. Stephen Avery, a DNA exoneree, spent nearly 2 decades in prison for a crime he did not commit. Avery filed a suit against the county in Wisconsin and several individuals involved with his arrest. Shortly after, however, Avery found himself behind bars again, this time accused of the murder of 25-year-old photographer Teresa Halbach. She was last seen on Avery's property, where she was to photograph a vehicle. Avery and his nephew, Brendan Dassey, were tried and convicted of the crime. But that's not the end of the story. When Columbia graduate students Laura Ricciardi and Moria Demos read about Avery, they felt his story would make an interesting documentary. Now, neither PBS or HBO were interested, but Netflix took on the concept to produce the docuseries, which generated plenty of publicity and promoted petitions to have Avery's case reviewed. However, officials in Wisconsin insisted that not all of the evidence was presented in the program. So, is that true? The filmmakers did say they needed to select what was relevant because they were telling a story and not presenting a court case. And that's fair. But is that the reason? Or did they intentionally leave out vital details that would in fact point to Avery's unsavory character and guilt? Were Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey railroaded for reasons that seem to change over the years, similar to, 9/11 or Kennedy assassination conspiracies? I would always suggest one could pore through the case itself, and I would highly recommend that, but I also understand not everyone has time for that. We have lives to live. We have jobs, college, school, we have family, friends, we have relationships, and, we have other things to do with our time. But I believe that if you did watch Making a Murderer, and if you listened to some YouTuber or podcaster advocate or parrot the Making a Murderer innocence narrative, then I would suggest you at least look at the other side and see if it holds up. Convicting a Murderer, a 10-part docuseries which is a rebuttal to Making a Murderer, is now out. It's been out since September, but the 10-part episode just came out last Thursday. I heard about this docuseries years ago, and I thought that it was interesting that director and producer Sean Wretch, I thought it was interesting that he was taking this on. He's most known for creating films, and he documents wrongful convictions and over sentencing. 3 of his subjects actually, have been released from prison. He also frequently examines the role of journalism in the justice system. So I was very much looking forward to watching this and, seeing, what his take was, and then it just vanished. I thought, maybe the project stalled and it was in development hell somewhere. Then during the summer of this year, I heard that The Daily Wire was going to stream it, and while I was excited, I was a bit concerned. Why take an already polarizing subject and put it on another polarizing platform? The Daily Wire is an American conservative news website and media company founded in 2015 by political commentator Ben Shapiro and film director, Jeremy Boring. To me, you were separating an audience who would have possibly been interested, but may no longer be interested because they're not going to pay to watch something that goes against their ideological beliefs. Despite my concerns, I was willing to pay the monthly subscription to watch it. And so, what do I think? Well, it restored my faith in documentary filmmaking. It put respect back on Teresa Halbach's name. Because let's be clear, Avery and Dassey aren't the victims here. They are the villains. Halbach was the one who was victimized. I know politics is an ugly thing, but I would implore anyone who is non conservative to put your political beliefs aside and watch this series, because to me this is not a conservative versus liberal issue. This is not Republicans versus Democrats. However, if that is asking too much of you, then how about a compromise? There's a great YouTube channel who goes over this case in great detail. It's called Beyond Making a Murderer: What Part 1 and 2 Didn't Tell You. This channel is dedicated to supplement the Netflix documentary series. The YouTuber makes a great point as well. Both sides of the story need to be heard before one can judge this case properly. Soon I plan on making my own episode on this case, but in the meantime, you should check out Convicting a Murderer, Beyond Making a Murderer, or both, because I feel both bring different qualities to the table, and you can learn something from both of them. Until next time.
Got a lot to say, can't hold it